Right now at noon, Kansans can now vote on what design they want for the new Kansas license plates.
We've got ourselves a warm but breezy day across the area. We'll take a look at that forecast coming up.
Plus, the 81st Golden Globe nominations were announced this morning. We'll have who's leading the pack in the film categories.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on KOAM News at Noon. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. In today's top story, multi-county grand jury indicts 3 in alleged illegal medical marijuana conspiracy. According to the Oklahoma Attorney General's office, the suspects created a front that allowed non-Oklahoma residents to get commercial licenses for medical marijuana in the state. The suspects are 47-year-old Kevin Pham, 48-year-old Alex Shing, and 36-year-old Richard Ignacio. They allegedly operated in Kingfisher County and elsewhere in the state. The attorney's office states that their server as a so-called straw owner for grow operations, kind of like a third party that held property in order to transfer it. Because non-state residents can't legally get licensed, the suspects served as a front for those out-of-state individuals, even providing them with false information for applications. The Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs investigated the case. Prosecutors charged all 3 men with conspiracy against the state and a pattern of criminal offenses.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a breezy day out there, but still not bad. Our temperature's right about where they should be as we head into the afternoon. Look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker earlier, but we didn't have anything out there. The bulky clouds, the satellite's picking up off to our northeast and off to our south and west, and that's where they're going to remain for today. Now we'll start to see clouds increase on our Tuesday, but we'll talk about all that here in just a few more minutes. MoDOT camera this morning, 32nd and range line, plentiful sunshine, nothing but clear skies, and beautiful blue skies from our camera on the Cornell complex this morning, and some work going on downtown. Crane blocking Main Street, big crane too. Check that out. And look at the shadow on that from the rising sun out there on City Hall. Yesterday started the day at 23, so that was below average. Yes, but nowhere near record levels at 0 back in 1995. We talked about that this morning. Yeah, this morning was cold. Could have been a lot worse. 46 though is what we made it to, so only 3 degrees below where we're supposed to be, so we're not doing too bad. Our temperatures hovering around average the last couple of days, and they're going to start to go a little above average over the next few days, but not significantly so. We go through the rest of the evening. We are looking at clear skies out there, temperatures gradually falling back into the 30s overnight. We're going to have a complete look at your forecast, including some rain chances on the horizon here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. The American Legion partnered with Peace Church Cemetery in Joplin to place evergreen wreaths along the graves of those who served our country. The wreaths are adorned with red ribbons to help us remember to always be grateful for those who served. The wreaths will remain in place through the Christmas holiday.
It started in 2008 with Wreaths Across America, and last couple of years we decided to do it and kind of get involved with that. And so we decided to put a wreath on the veterans' graves that are here, and we are real thankful that we are able to do that and honor those that have gone on before us.
Peace Church Cemetery is located on the east side of Peace Church Road, halfway between Zora and Fountain Roads. And Governor Kelly encourages Kansans to vote on a new license plate design. Starting today, Kansans can go to ksplates.kansas.gov to vote for their favorite place among 5 designs created by Mammoth Creative Co., a Kansas-based marketing firm in partnership with Kansas Tourism. Voting will end at 5 p.m. on Friday, December 15th. The 5 options, while continuing to align with Kansas Tourism's To the Stars branding and the already announced guidelines, incorporate previous public feedback such as a lighter blue on the original proposal, a state of Kansas outline, wheat, and sunflowers. In the meantime, with the help of county treasurer offices, the Kansas Department of Revenue will continue its license plate modernization project as originally scheduled, transitioning embossed plates to the digitally produced license plate process introduced in 2018. The delay of the new design does not halt this process. All plates will continue to be printed with the current design until the new one is selected and printing systems adjusted. And the Joplin Special Road District will be closing North Central City Road from West 7th Street going north to Bell Center on Tuesday and Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. They ask that you use an alternate route as there is no through traffic. And that's a look at today's top stories in the 4 states region. Up next on KOAM News at Noon, we take a look at the destruction and aftermath of the EF3 tornado that tore through Tennessee. And later, we're making pepper-crusted prime rib in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Stay tuned. FEMA reports 2 adults and 1 child were killed in Montgomery County. The EF3 tornado destroyed at least 91 structures, while 271 had enough damage to render them uninhabitable.
One day later in Clarksville, the roar of the storm has been replaced by the buzz of chainsaws. Even still, Dale Gooman can't believe he and his family are still here.
A place that we've lived for just a little over a year, just completely gone in the matter of minutes.
Even though much of their family home isn't.
This is where we were, right here in this tub.
He and his wife put their 3 kids, all under the age of 3, in the bathtub and braced for impact.
Yeah, we got the kids in the tub, made sure they were covered in blankets, and I acted as a human shield along with my wife. One of the neighbors down the street, as soon as he saw our roof missing, he ran right over and kicked down the door to check on us and helped us carry the kids out of the house and into theirs for safety.
Under normal circumstances, Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church might be a place to find safety.
It's a tough time, definitely a tough time.
But there were reminders everywhere we looked.
As you can see, it took it flipped it, turned it completely over.
That these aren't normal circumstances.
That's our roof right there.
It's just, wow. All I could say was wow.
Despite all the destruction,
We still hadn't figured out where the steeple is.
despite the long road ahead,
We just come in and remove everything.
Pastor David Allen has reasons to give thanks.
That is the old stained glass from the old church. And it's still intact.
There are precious keepsakes that were spared
That's something that couldn't be replaced.
and precious children that were sent home less than an hour before the tornado came.
Buildings can be rebuilt, but lives can't. You can't bring a life back.
And it's volunteers that seem poised to bring life back into the buildings here in North Clarksville.
We are a strong community, and we will bounce back. We will bounce back.
Because the best way to drown out the roar of the storm
It's good seeing the good in humanity after a disaster like this, pretty much.
is that sweet sound of chainsaws.
And by the way, Dale, the father of 3 that you heard from, tell us about a remarkable story. He was at a Walmart replacing as much of his children's clothes as possible. He was telling a story to a guy in line, and the next thing he knew, that complete stranger paid for all $300 worth of clothing for that family. It's a powerful example of just how generous the communities are. And the 81st Golden Globe nominations were announced this morning, with the blockbusters Barbie and Oppenheimer leading the pack in the film categories. The 3-hour award show will be broadcast live on CBS next month. This is the first year the award show will not involve the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, which was dissolved after years of scandal. Naomi Retcham reports from New York.
Hi, Barbie.
The summer's Barbenheimer phenomenon is barreling into award season. The blockbusters lead this year's Golden Globe nominations, Barbie with 9 and Oppenheimer with 8.
This year's Golden Globes, here we go.
Cedric the Entertainer announced some of the top categories live on CBS Mornings. On the drama side, Oppenheimer will face off against Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon, as well as the thriller Anatomy of a Fall, Bradley Cooper's Maestro, the romance Past Lives, and the Nazi drama The Zone of Interest.
It's Killers of the Flower Moon versus Oppenheimer.
Right.
2 titans. Martin Scorsese versus Christopher Nolan.
Barbie is up for Best Musical or Comedy, along with nods for stars Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, and director Greta Gerwig. It goes up against Air, American Fiction, The Holdovers, May December, and Poor Things. Good. The color purple failed to make the category, but it did earn 2 acting nods, including one for star Fantasia Barrino.
You cannot win. Your dad will wash you away.
On the television side, Succession led the field, racking up 9 nominations in its final season. The Golden Globes is under new ownership after the Hollywood Foreign Press Association was disbanded following a scandal involving its lack of diversity. The show will air live on CBS Sunday, January 7th and stream on Paramount+. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
And there are 2 new categories this year: Cinematic and Box Office Achievement in Motion Pictures and Best Stand-Up Comedian on Television. The new Golden Globes nomination committee has 300 diverse voters from 75 countries. And still to come on KOAM News at Noon, we see what's cooking with Mr. Food.
We're making holiday entertaining easy with a classic main dish. But it's not your old standby turkey or ham.
But first, we've got ourselves again an average, slightly above average day today. Rain chances on the way as we head into the middle of this week. We'll look at all that in your full forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. So we've got a slightly above average day ahead of us. Our average highs now falling back just a bit into the upper 40s, but still not too bad out there, even though it's a bit on the cool side. Quick look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker from earlier today. Again, the clouds, the only measurable clouds hanging off to our northeast and to our southwest. However, we fly off to the New England states. They've got winter storm warnings up there. They are getting the snow for sure across the northeast out there. And this is that same system, though, that generated the severe weather, including the tornadoes across parts of Tennessee and Kentucky as we were going through our Saturday and Sunday through the area on the weekend. Live look outside, MoDOT camera, 32nd in range liner. But this is from earlier this morning, and we had clear skies, plentiful sunshine, and that's going to be the trend for the rest of our day. Our camera on the Cornell complex, some work going on at City Hall this morning, and a big crane lifting some folks and maybe some equipment up onto the roof there, but otherwise picked a pretty decent day to do it with all this sunshine and clear skies. And the KDOT camera this morning also showing us plentiful sunshine, a beautiful start to the day, albeit a bit on the cold side. Now, as for the rest of today, we're still looking at highs peaking right about the low to mid 50s, so roughly 5 to 8 degrees above normal, but not significantly so. Mostly clear skies and a bit breezy again. Southwest breeze at 5 to 15. Could see some occasional gusts upwards of 20 miles an hour. We head into tonight. Clear skies out there. Chilly, but right around average temperatures, a little above as we fall back into the the low to mid 30s out there. South breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Heading into our Tuesday, a little bit warmer above normal out there, mid 50s, partly cloudy skies, northeast breeze. That'll shift overnight tonight at around 5 to 10 miles an hour, and clouds will increase as we go later into our Tuesday ahead of those isolated shower chances for us on our Wednesday. So here we are about noon, again about partly cloudy skies, but through the afternoon and into the evening, clouds increase, and by the afternoon on Wednesday, a few isolated to widely scattered showers will be possible out there, mainly into southeast Kansas at this point. But hey, at least some rain is possible as we head into our Wednesday afternoon and evening for some of us across the area. As for the rest of the week, again, mid 50s tomorrow, low to mid 50s Wednesday, mostly cloudy for those of us not seeing the rain. Well above average on Thursday as we go into the upper 50s near 60. Additional shower chances on Friday, still staying above average. We head into the weekend and into the next work week. Temperatures, again, just a bit above average, but otherwise not bad. Some sun, some clouds, and of course with our daytime highs right about where they should be, a little above. Our overnight lows follow suit. Not too bad. I know the 30s are cold, but of course this time of year, as we saw in the almanac, temperatures could be a lot worse out there. Otherwise, a pretty decent looking week ahead. Caitlin?
All right, well, stick around because we're making pepper-crusted prime rib in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. We'll be right back. It's time to check in with Howard in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. Today he's making an easy yet elegant version of prime rib that'll rival anything you can find at the fanciest restaurant. The dish is low on work and high on good taste, perfect for holiday entertaining or enjoying all year long.
The holidays are just 2 weeks away, and maybe you're thinking, what should I serve for a main course? Instead of the usual turkey or ham, how about a prime rib? Not just any prime rib, one that lets you pull out all the stops. And if you're wondering, is it easy? Well, it is. You want to start off with a boneless beef ribeye. Now, the size depends on how many people you're planning on serving. A good rule of thumb is to figure about 3/4 of a pound per person, since it'll shrink a little while it cooks. Okay, we rub this with a mixture of garlic, onion powder, kosher salt, and coarse black pepper. So how will we know when it's done? We can use a traditional oven meat thermometer that's inserted into the roast before it goes into the oven, or an instant read thermometer after it comes out. Either way, it should register about 140 degrees. Takes about 25 minutes per pound to give us a perfect medium rare. You can always cook it a little longer if you want it more done. While it's resting, we'll deglaze the pan in the oven or on the stovetop with a bit of red wine and some peppercorns. Now you carve this into thick slices and drizzle them with pan drippings for a main dish that's fancy looking, yet as easy as it gets. The recipe for this pepper-crusted prime rib and the Yorkshire pudding that we're serving with it are online now, so you can really impress your guests. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we're looking for a fancy schmancy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
To find this recipe, along with many others, just head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com and click on Mr. Food. Now here's a look at your 4 state market prices.
All right, we're going to hang on to slightly above average temperatures next couple of days. A few isolated showers possible for us on our Wednesday out there. And again on Friday. And take a look at Thursday. Temperatures well above average as we get close to 60. And we'll cool back down to at or just slightly above average by the weekend.
All right, and Dow, what do you have for us tonight?
A lot coming up at 5. For starters, the AAP has updated its guidance for addressing suicide risk among adolescents. The group recommends pediatricians screen for possible suicidal thoughts and risk factors. Plus, Christmas comes early for some elementary students in Joplin, and the Kansas governor wants residents to voice their opinion on the new license plate design. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at Noon. Have a great rest of your day.